Hello, I'm Mayor Regenia Bailey. Each month we feature a local notable nonprofit. In the following program, City Channel 4 producer Katie Roche will sit down with this month's selection for the Mayor's monthly notable nonprofit.
Hello and welcome to the Mayor's Monthly Notable Nonprofit. I'm here today with Mary Blackwood, who is the creative director for the Landlocked Film Festival. Mm-hmm. And is Landlocked in its third year?
This is the third year.
Third year, and this is a homegrown Iowa City film festival, but it has an international scope, showing films from all over the world. So how you've been involved since the beginning?
I have, yes.
Tell us how did this all get started?
I think a lot of people in Iowa City, I think, have often felt it's a wonderful place to have a film festival. And there are small film festivals here. I originally got involved with the documentary festival that shows short docs. I think it's seventh or eighth year by now.
Is that the IDoc?
ICDocs. ICDocs.
Through the university.
Yes, exactly. And I always wanted to have one that would have narrative films too. So through the years, talked to some other people and eventually just found the right crew of people who all kind of agreed together. We went and talked to the Englert, the Sheraton, places where we could screen, the public library, and people were on board with it. So we just figured we'd take a chance. We kind of hung out our shingle on the internet, and people sent us movies.
You said, we have a film festival, make a submission.
We did.
Wow.
It was pretty amazing. I knew it would work because of the documentary film festival.
So how many submissions did you get the first year and progressive years?
We've gotten about 200 every year. It hasn't really gone up yet. I think the quality has gone up in what we're getting. I think the first year what happened is a lot of people at Iowa Films sent those in. Now we're starting to get a wider range from around the world, but also we're going to look at expanding that for the future to just get a wider reach.
What's the farthest film
this
submission?
Year, we've got something from New Zealand. We've got something from Egypt.
Are those filmmakers going to come to the festival? Or?
Really, we get a lot of American and occasionally some Canadian filmmakers coming. Some of them can drive here. A lot of them fly here. Attracting somebody from overseas is a little tougher because the filmmakers spend their own money to come. We don't yet have a filmmaker fund to help them with that. We hope to someday, because one of the greatest things about these festivals is when you can watch a movie and right afterwards the person who made it gets up and answers your questions. We do have some international people coming this year, though.
Well,
for the first time.
Film, I mean, it's gotten a lot less expensive with the digital format, but it is a really expensive process to make a film right.
It is still it can be very expensive. Some people actually list their budget as $0, but they've got a camera. I mean, if you have a camera, is that part of the budget or not? If you own Final Cut Pro on your computer, I don't know. But if you've already got those elements in place, maybe you will only spend $10 on some DV tapes. But then you're using people's time, your own time. People just put so much time into making them, so it's a labor of love for them, really.
Yeah.
And some people with independent film will actually get financing, and put on a more professional shoot too. So we get things across the board that go both ways.
The festival is showing all different kinds of films. So you have animation, you have narrative films, you have documentaries, short form and long form narrative.
Absolutely.
As well.
Yeah, and I think that it is great. We really love the fact that digital video especially has made it so easy for a lot of people to make films. Hollywood and even TV stations that maybe show documentaries, there's a certain group of people who are able to get their word, their viewpoint out there. But there's so many more people in this country or in the world who have something else to say, so that the independent route and the film festival route is the way most of these people can get the word out about what they're saying on a certain topic.
I think that really, to me, was shown through the selections in the short form documentary. I just thought, wow, look at this! There's a film about the do-it-yourself crafting industry, the sort of indie punk thing that's happening, and I mean that's such a thing that's happening right now.
And I know that some of these people, they do sell copies of their DVDs. That's one way they'll raise money. Sometimes they'll be able to get it onto the Sundance Channel or some other cable channel or on public access television. But the film festival circuit is often the best way for them to get the word out, or to get an audience for what they've made. Because when you make art, you make music or anything, almost everybody wants an audience. That's the whole point. You're trying to communicate to somebody, and so this is the way you get to do it. And every filmmaker who has come to Landlocked has pretty much said that we're the best run, the most welcoming. They've gone to a number of them, and they love the fact that we've gotten big crowds in.
Yeah.
You know, that I've heard people say, I was at this other film festival, and nobody was in that theater but me.
Oh.
And that's kind of harsh.
Well, I think people are really excited about it in this community. I mean, it's
I agree.
walkable. You
I
can
agree.
just kind of trot around downtown from location to location. I love the guide that you've all put together over the years, just to kind of go through it, read the synopsis, and say, I can't not see that one. And one that I really want to see is the mom, what's it called? I wrote it down.
Mom's Hot Rocks.
The Mom's Hot Rocks, but mom bands.
Yes.
This culture of mom bands.
I know. It's like these really rocking women. Some of the bands are named like the My Dolls. I mean, literally. You know,
Sounds like a girl group, like the Chantels, except.
You know, it kind of is, except that maybe they've got a little baby somewhere. I mean, it reminds me of Chrissy Hind, you know, with the Pretenders. I mean, she took her kid, you know, with her, with a little baby backstage. It's like, well, that continues on now. Yeah. And the more women that are playing in that, you know, that kind of band, and it's kind of loud, raucous music, the kind I love, you know, kind of punk. So it's just a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you also have student selections.
We do. We love to encourage students because, I mean, these are the people who are going to keep making films more and more as they go on. That's why we also have workshops and things to just help, not just students, but anybody who wants to come to learn a bit more about filmmaking, because it is open to people if they're willing to put some time and effort into it.
So let's talk about the workshops a little bit. I'm an aspiring filmmaker who knows very little, and I'm very excited about the
you have to come
about the workshops. So what sort of things are you offering?
One of the workshops, we have a UCLA professor who's going to teach a screenwriting course, and it's not going to be aimed at novices. It will be at, you know, we're going to get a wide variety of people in there. But it will talk about some topic that's, you know, above just the basic level, but maybe not necessarily for somebody who's written 10 screenplays. Maybe somebody who's written, you know, 1 or 2 or started on one, but an interesting topic. And I don't even know what she's going to do. I've talked with her. I totally trust her. She teaches at UCLA. You know,
she probably knows what
she'll do fine. Her name is Becky Smith, by the way, and she is originally from Okoboji, but she lives in LA now. She has been a director for Queer Eye for the Straight Guy and a lot of other television shows. She had a documentary at Cannes Film Festival once. So, and she's also got a filming competition, 16 to Life, which is her first narrative feature-length film. Another workshop, we have Clancy, who also works in LA, although he's from Cedar Rapids originally. And he will do directing for the camera. He is really, he gave this workshop last year, and he's going to expand on it this year. Everybody thought he was wonderful. He's got a wonderful eye for shot ballistics and talking about, you know, making, you know, where's the meaning on the screen. It really matters how you aim that camera and what you're getting. He shows excellent examples. But in addition, we're adding this year that he will also shoot in front of the class a brief scene between 2 actors, because we want, one of the mysteries for a filmmaker, you know, especially an independent filmmaker, is how do you work with actors? I mean, that's really tricky. To be a really good actor is a mystery I don't understand at all. I admire people who can do it enormously. I cannot do it myself. But how can I, if I'm going to be a director, work with them to bring out their best performance? And that's what we're going to watch Ty do.
And that's one place where a film can jump from being amateurish to because you know you can tell when a dialogue is stunted by that relationship between director and actor and camera.
Absolutely. And we also, Ty did say, he said, yes, get me 1 male, 1 female, I'll write a scene. And he said, I need actors who can take direction. So I found some who can. Because that's very true. I could get, you know, my friend to sit there and they wouldn't be able to, he might say something. He needs people who understand acting. So we got some people who are absolutely, they've been in theater and on film, you know, but they're both from Iowa.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, so you're independently funding this whole thing yourself. There's no sponsors or anything, right? You're just out of pocket, Mary Blackwood.
Yes, it's out of my pocket. No.
That's so kind of you. What's the story? What does it take to put this thing on?
It takes a certain amount of money. It takes a lot of the community coming together. And I'd first like to say that the City of Iowa City is sponsoring us, and we appreciate that greatly. It's allowed us to bring in some special events and also to put on a lot of free events. So I should just mention, this year for Friday and Saturday night in the Angler, we will charge $5 at the door. Everything else is free.